Hooked on Families 5-Minute Friday, brought to you by Sailfish Brewing Company. I'm Captain Scott Brown, and what we're going to talk about today is wintertime fishing here in the Lower Keys and what techniques you guys need to bring down here in order to be successful. Let's get into it. One of the most important variables you have to consider whenever fishing in the winter months down here in the Lower Keys is water temperature. If you're coming down here for tarpon bonefish and permit and water temps dip below 74 degrees, you're most likely not going to find the abundance of schools of fish that you would have in the fall, spring, and summertime months. Those fish usually relocate to adjacent channels and warmer basins. What we do have here in the Lower Keys is the redfish. We don't have big bull redfish like we have up in the Panhandle, but we have slot size and under. You can utilize the same techniques as you would the bonefish with the redfish. They highly favor any type of smaller crustacean or shrimp pattern fly. You can also go after them with artificial, such as any type of rubber plastic bait. They usually stray away from hard plastic baits, but if you can keep it as natural as possible and keep the movements subsurface to a minimum, then you usually are pretty successful. You have to think about the waters down here in the Lower Keys are usually gin clear, and they can get very shallow at low tide, which is usually when all the Lower Keys redfish come out. So make sure you guys give them their room, do some long casts, and you usually will be successful. You'll usually get 1 to 10 shots at the Lower Keys redfish down here. Other than that, we can go into channel fishing. Having the channels down here are bigger snook and tarpon. The tarpon usually vary from 10 to 30 pounds. You usually won't find any of the bigger ones, although you can come across a wild card in some of the deeper channels. I like to live bait those. Same tackle applies as I would during the prime tarpon season months. 40-pound fluorocarbon leader. If you find bigger ones, you can up it to 50-pound, but that's usually all you need. If I'm throwing live mullet, I like to use a 6 to a 7/0 circle hook. I love the Trocar series AP circles. I mean, your hookup ratio will dramatically go up. Big snook are the other bycatch that you have if you target the tarpon. If you're throwing big mullet into the channels, there is the possibility that you can come across some 10+ pound snook, which is great for the Lower Keys. Another alternative to the snook and the tarpon is the local snapper. During the wintertime months, you usually will get some bigger snapper pushing into the shallow patch reefs or the mangrove line channels. You can throw pinfish, you can throw pilchard, smaller mullet if you can find them, and you usually will be successful. I like to throw those on 25 to 40-pound fluorocarbon leader, depending on the structure or if there's any type of obstacles that those snapper are going to wrap up on. Thanks for tuning in to this week's 5-Minute Friday, brought to you by Sailfish Brewing Company. If you guys haven't gone over and checked out Hooked on Family's website, be sure to do so. Be sure to subscribe and like to this YouTube channel. You are only furthering promote family fishing, and God knows that we need good mentors in this outdoor industry right now. We have a huge influx of people coming into the industry, and with that being said, we need good information and good mentors to put out that information. Go check out St. Croix Rods. You can find their website, Instagram. They have a plethora of media online. Go check them out. Be sure to check out their Triumph series and their Legend Extreme. They also have a new Mojo lineup, Mojo Inshore, that we're waiting to get our hands on to test out for you guys. We're going to give a full review of all these rods and put out exact stats and information on them, so that way you guys can make an educated buy on one of these St. Croix rods. Thanks for tuning in, and see you guys next week. Welcome to Hooked on Families 5-Minute Friday, brought to you by Sailfish Brewing Company. I'm Captain Scott Brown, and what we're going to discuss today is wintertime fishing. Wintertime fishing. Did you hear that one? That was a good one. I'll have a beer on that.